Hey guys, Dylan here from the Cyberman with my updated U7 Gohan list. I took this to the Oceanias on Saturday here in Australia, did quite well with it, had quite a few really good games, managed to come ninth, which I'm very happy with, and considering I kind of didn't realize I didn't have the whole deck assembled until like a couple days before regionals, and didn't have enough time to actually get the cards. So I basically just had to put together with what I had rather than what I wanted to build, and still came ninth with it. I'll go through the deck as the way it is, and then I'll go through what I really liked about it, and I'll go through what I was supposed to add to it, and then my matches. It was a really big day. I had some really very close matches. I don't think I really steamrolled anyone. I felt like I was in control of some of the games, but I still really felt like I had to be quite careful. Where like I know a lot of aggro decks, it's quite easy to just steamroll people and never really feel like you're really having any issue. So you guys know I love Gohan. Pretty much every Gohan that comes out I try and make, and also, there's my boy. And then I love red, as I'm sure you guys can tell from my red and blue from a lot of my profiles. So I normally run Cooler, and he's got a lot of support lately, and I think he's very strong, but I don't love that people think he's only good now and they're starting to run him a lot themselves. So I thought, hey, I'll just go run U7 Gohan, have a bit of fun. And I actually did really well with him. So let's go through the deck. On his Unawakened side is Warrior of Universe 7. I'm interested again to see where that goes in the future, considering you really want to run this mono red. I've seen a few changes, but it'd be interesting to see where it goes. And then when I use the Universe 7 card in combo, draw a card. When your life is at 4 or less, or you have a red unison with a specified cost of 2, you may draw 1 card, switch off to one of your energy to active mode, and then take your life down to 5, flip this card over. Beautiful turn 2. I will say with the new Zamasu counterplays, Benny, I'm sure you'll be watching, I knew going up second against that, any deck that would run the Zamasu counterplays, it's going to be very rough for me because I want to turn to Awaken and they can stop it. On the Awaken side, Warrior of Universe 7, when you use the same combo, draw a card, once per turn, Spirit Boost. When you use a red skillless battle card with an energy cost of 2 in the combo, it gets 6,000 power for the turn. We'll go through why that's really cool a bit later. And then once per turn, when a red unison with a specified cost of 2 in unison area is placed in the drop area, you may add up to 1 red skillless battle card with an energy cost of 2 from your drop area and play it. Why that's cool is that can be done on your turn or their turn. So you can just play a new. So a lot of times when I was going, I actually didn't do it much on the weekend. I don't think I did. But you can just play a new unison. New unison goes to old unison goes to the drop. Play a skillless. They kill it. Play a skillless. It works out pretty well. So yeah, that's him. We run 4 of the 1-drop Gohans. They have to be SPRs because he is glorious. Now, I was very worried about going into regionals with this deck, with this guy, because you do rely on his comboing with a skillless a lot. Your hand size can get out of control very quickly. So I was worried about him being warped, I was worried about him being KO'd, and you'll see why going ahead. But I must admit the deck went really well without him, and I found I was having 2 or 3 in my hand in the late game, and it was cool just to play him to find my last super combo, or to find a new unison, or to find a UI Goku, or to find one of the Android 17s or 18s that lets you just keep comboing. And funny enough, I think I won 2 matches swinging in with him, because I don't think my opponents expected me to swing in with a 4K, but my hand is so big, I just don't care. So he won me a few matches. He won me a match against Gogeta Zeno, which I know we all know how ridiculous that card is, deck is. So love this guy. His ability, once you play him, you get to look for a Universe 7 in the top 5 cards from your deck with a cost of 5 or less, I believe. 4 or less. So you can hit your UI Goku, you can hit your super combos, you can hit your skillless, you can hit pretty much everything except for Riku. Or you can grab any of your unison specified, pardon me, 2 or less, which hits both of ours. But then these other all though, which is amazing. Limit 1, if your leader card is red, when you use a mono red skillless battle card in a combo, draw 1 card. Absolutely amazing, because you would swing with leader, combo with skillless, draw off leader, draw off 1 drop. But then later on when we use our unison, you can combo with a skillless from the drop for free, draw off leader, draw off him, so you're plus him 2. Amazing card, love it, love it, love it, love it. Won me games, beautiful. We just run as much skillless as we can. So 4 of the Goku 2 drops, don't need to go into too much with them. They're just 20k 2 drops. We need them for our leader, we need them for our 1 drop, we need them for our spirit boost. I would love Bandai to give me another one. I don't care if it's Vegeta, I don't care if it's Roshi, I don't care if it's Tien, I don't care. Frieza, I couldn't give a fuck. I want 4 more red skillless 20ks for this deck, please. Bandai, if you're listening, you won't be. We run 3 of the the Android 17s, 2 of the Android 18s. They both have different abilities. So the Android 17, bloop. He's a barrier blocker. Once per turn when I activate this card's blocker skill, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards that gets minus 15,000 for the turn. If you leave the card as a mono red, Universe 7 card, and you only have this card. If you leave the card as mono red Universe 7 card and you only have this card and 1 red skillless battle card in the combo area, when you use this card, draw a card. So you have to sequence your combos particularly well. So a lot of what you can do is combo from the drop with a skillless, draw 2 free cards, and then if you're cycling, just combo these guys off in the middle to draw a card. I went all in on a Gogeta Zeno. Is that what they are? Yeah, Gogeta Zeno, a Jiren, and I think is a Masu. And I looked at, I had super combos and everything. So I comboed the skillless first, draw off leader, draw off the 1 drop, combo to replace, and then super combo, super combo, super combo. So for all 5 cards, I was just getting cards back, and you can just keep going. With that said, I wanted to add a Champa or 2 for this leader, because the amount of times my opponent got down to 2 life, and I had a fat board and they were just kind of comboing out of regular attacks, and I didn't want to overextend, or really, I just didn't want to try and do too much. I just wish I could have swung in with my leader or my unison and just chucked a double Champa down, especially when I had 2, because by that time I had 4, 5, 6 energy, a whole hand of combo, plus a free coup, plus super combo. So I normally, when I go all in, go anywhere between 80 to 120k, which is very, very hard to get out of for a lot of decks. So Champa was supposed to be in the deck. Funny enough, I could not find a single one in my house. Mental, I know. So we're on 3 of the Android 17, and then the 18 is just a barrier. If this card, mono red, and you have 1 red, same thing. They activate battle once per turn, add up to 1 red Universe 7 battle card in the combo area, 5k power. It's shit. You never want it on board, you're never paying 2 for it. But it's good just to have, normally I would run 4 and 1, but I don't have 3 foil Android 17s, so I have to have 2 Android 18s, and yeah, silly, but I like foils. But awesome card, and you would play him, and I'm thinking about putting him in cooler, so cool card. 2 of this guy, he is always an MVP in any red decks that I play. The reason I specifically liked him in here was his activate main, 2 red just to neg something, ignoring barrier 25. He killed a lot of Bojack Aegis for me on the weekend. I love that yellow players are tapping out, they're rivaling in their Bojack, thinking that they're going to Aegis and untap energy, and before you do anything, you just kill it with this guy and they sit there with a freaking surprise Pikachu face. Love it. I think another player I had, the poor Jiren player I was playing against, really, really nice guy from New Zealand, had a really fun game with him. I think he had 2 toppers on board, 2 5 drops, or 2 4 drops on board, and a couple 1 drops, and I just played that and wiped his entire board. Because it's 20k or less. He just had the poor guy. Like I played against a lot of Jiren, and I just knew just to kill his board the whole time. But really nice guy. Great card. I think I played it once or twice just to get another 15k swing in, but they were amazing at removing those barrier Aegis cards, and I would play more if I had more, but I don't. Now, one of my favorite cards in this deck, I was tossing up between running 2 or 3. The reason why I love him, he's a Universe 7, so he is comboable. He's a negate. And one of the most ridiculous things that I did on the weekend with this leader is, if we go to Frieza Unison, okay? So one of the Frieza Unison's abilities, ±0, is although when your opponent attacks, choose up to 1 skillless Universe 7 cards in your hand or drop area and combo with it. The reason why this was absolutely broken, and I loved it, was when I knew that my opponent was essentially just going in for their last attack against my Unison or the leader, or they're trying to kill, I don't know, anything at all, and I know it's it, and I've got 2 energy up, I would negate, play my Android 17. I would keep this in pending, play my 1-drop. My 1-drop would find me my Unison or a super combo or anything I wanted. I would then, with the 1-drop on board, fulfill my auto to have the leader draw for me and the 1-drop draw for me, sorry. I would have 2 bodies on board, I would negate an attack, and I would draw 3 cards. It's silly, it was amazing, I loved it, I love this card. It fits perfectly in this deck around that turn 4, 5, 6, especially that we're going a bit longer. And it means that I get to keep my 1-drops, which I really, really love. Great card. Don't know if I'd go to 3. I tend to always find it at 2 because this deck cycles like crazy, but fucking great card. This is one of the most broken cards I've ever played in this game. I've played it and people haven't believed the effects that it has. It is so good against blue. It wrecks blue. So it's a deflect, dual attack, permanent. This card cannot be removed from your battle area by skills during your turn. So sorry blue, you can't bounce it with Boo Unison, you can't remove it with the counterplay, Baby Ape. Fucking, you can't do anything with it. It's just, once I play it, that's it. Once per turn, when this card attacks, add up to 1 red skillless battle card from your deck to your hand, then shuffle your deck. This card gains 5,000 power for the turn. Amazing, because it finds me my pieces that I need to keep synergizing with my deck. I must admit, I came insanely close about 4 out of 7 games on the weekend to decking out. So I really had to make sure that the freezer was putting stuff back in and then figuring out what UI was going to do. There's a lot of times I chose not to pick any. This card's ridiculous. There's a lot of time I arrival 2 in 1 turn just to pressure and pressure and pressure. And then they got wiped or they got sent back to my hand, but I just don't care. This thing is silly. It's such a 25k dual attack, you can make it to 30k. Activate battle, it's 2 red. If you have 3 or more energy and you have 2 or more red battle cards in the combo area, very easy. Your combo is skillless. You draw from leader, you draw from the 1-drop, and then so you're +1. You then play an Android 17 or 18, you draw again, so you haven't lost anything, and then you arrival this guy in, and then you get a card for free based off him. So you're never losing anything. Combo area and play this card from your hand, then choose up to 1 of your mono red cards, and it gains 5,000 power for the turn. Pick anything. Pick him, pick a Unison, pick a leader, pick a battle card, pick anything. Card is absolutely busted. Love this card. Thank you to my good friend and sexy beast Minnow at my locals. I really needed one of these. I wanted the winners, but we haven't been able to really get anything in Australia or Sydney at the moment, where our postal service is fucked. We're in lockdown, we can't get product, hence why my deck is unfinished. But I really just wanted one, again, just to remove anything that I didn't like on board and to specifically hit those Aegis cards. So, the amount of times I played this, people had no idea what it did, had no idea where it was from, asked why it's in my deck. It was amazing, I loved it. So it's a deflect barrier, so it's getting on board. When this card is played from your hand, play up to 1 Super Saiyan Carver Spirit Renaissance from your deck with 3 markers on it. Then shuffle your deck. If you didn't play a card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and it gets minus 30,000 power for the turn. We don't give a fuck about playing Carver. We want to neg 30k off an Aegis, Bojack, or anything else that's giving us grief like a blocker and just fucking start swinging. Once per turn, Spirit Boost, if your leader card is in mono red Saiyan card and this card is in rest mode, when your opponent attacks your leader card, you may have a game. That's, I used that once to get out of an attack. It's shitty, it's fucking stupid, but the card's already broken as it is. Amazing, I would probably run 2 of these because it's either a charge or it's a combo for another draw. Crazy deck, crazy card, absolutely love it. Super combos I run, I have seen other people online run fucking Raditz. I honestly don't know why you would, but that's me personally. These guys are active from your 5 life. Everything you have in this deck is active from 5 life. So you can defend. If for whatever reason I do not find a skillless, I do not find my 1-drop or my Unison isn't on board, I can combo this to draw 2 cards. It's fucking amazing, and it's a U7 and it's awesome. And good old Yamcha put in more work than I could possibly ask for on the weekend. He kept cleaning up all of the Icarus's board. He kept cleaning up all of Jiren's board. There was a player once where I had like 7 or 8 battle cards on board, because this really is a storm deck. And they played the Kami to wipe my entire board. But then before activating main or whatever it is, play the Unison. So I just counterplayed from the Unison and wiped it. Great card, love this card. I will say, with the reveal of the Videl, there's been a lot of articles online saying how it's power crept Yamcha and it's a new better card. I disagree. I think they are both useful. One, we haven't got a lot of great red Unisons with 3 markers. Yes, they might be coming, sure. But I can assure you, as a cooler player and a red player, I don't want to be negging markers on my Jiren too often. 2, this guy negs before he comes on board, so I don't give a shit about Yamcha. I don't give a shit about Charismatic Villain. I don't care. Sorry, not Yamcha. Trunks. Because yeah, neg, just give me a card back to my hand. Where Videl can easily be countered or sent back to hand and you get none of her effects. And look, it's 15k versus 20. 15k is either wiping something off the board or it's really stopping them for a turn. So don't fall for the trap of Videl. I think it's a good card. I'd probably run both. Nice little spice I have for this deck. I have loved this card in almost every leader of Saiyan deck that I've run. This card won me the game against Gogeta Zeno and really put some pressure on early for a lot of other decks. So it's unique double strike. When this card attacks, play up to 1 skillless battle card with an energy cost of 2 or less from your drop area, and it gains 5,000 power for the turn. Amazing, because you either get another swing or you have a free combo piece to draw free 2 cards. And especially if you're going in for game on this guy and you know that they can't remove him from board, you've gotten a 5k combo with him plus 2 free cards, and most of the time you have your range rate 17 again. So you just keep playing cards that just keep replacing themselves. Not to mention you can Spirit Boost and all that kind of shit. But activate main, if you lead the card as a Saiyan card and your opponent has 2 or more energy and you have 2 or more skillless battle cards in the drop area, play this card. You almost always do. I don't think you never not. The only time you wouldn't is if you're playing against Meki Kabura or Shroom and Salsa or some other dog shit thing. First of the Unisons that we play, Frieza. I absolutely positively guaranteed would run 4 of these. I literally only have 3 in my house. Again, by the time I figured it out, I could have asked someone to express post me in uncommon. Again, in Sydney, we have a much like everyone else, we have a huge lockdown. Postals are shit, can't get to stock, so I really only had 3. I would absolutely run 4 in this deck, absolutely. It's amazing. It synergizes with this deck like you wouldn't believe. 15k, beautiful, so you can pressure on Unawakened and Awakened. Once per turn, if it's your turn, when you remove a marker from this card using Spirit Boost, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards or Unison cards, and it gets 10,000 power for the turn. That is incredible, because it makes almost every Unison a viable target for being swung at now. It helped me clear Zeno Unisons very easily. It helped me clear Jirens easily because I just took it down to 10 points for the turn. It helped me clear Buu Unisons quite easily because I took it down to 10,000 for the turn. Or I just use it to wipe off little 1Ks from King Piccolo or Jiren. Fucking great card. Activate Man is place up to 1 red skillless card from your drop area to the bottom of your deck. Amazing, because I was starting to deck out a lot because I was going turn 5, 6, 7 and I was drawing like a motherfucker. So great. And then obviously when your opponent attacks, choose up to 1 of your Universe 7 cards. And so you basically just get to draw, and it's amazing. I would run 4. Because I did run 2 King Piccolos. I did want to go 1 and 4 because you do want to. Your target for Awakening is to play a skill Unison. You can find them off Gohans, but I have had matches where I haven't found Gohans and I haven't found Unisons for some fucking reason. We all know what King Piccolo does. There was times I chose to play him over Frieza, especially against Jiren because I could just keep KOing all of his shit. I never use the Rejuvenate thing, but I have thought about it sometimes. Very hard when there's only 2 because I would have to have 1 and then place 1 underneath. But I still think the Frieza is way stronger. Now, I play my Gohan a little bit different. I play him like a Storm deck, but I give him that kind of mid-range feel with a lot of negating power. So, first, testing opposition. It's amazing because, where are we? 5 or less life. It's active from turn 2. It's a second your Awakens going, it's good. Plays a blocker, especially if you just need something to protect your Unison. I really like these negates. I think they're great. I really like it in this deck. With the help of one of my teammates, recommended King Vegeta. I never used him in this deck. I didn't mind him. Funny enough, because I never used him, I missed his effects in one of my games and didn't realize that one of my opponent's battle cards was actually negged further than what I thought, meaning that I had comboed out. But shit is what it is. But I didn't mind it. I didn't use it. I don't like my life dropping too low with Gohan, so I mostly just paid one for him. But he certainly put in some work, especially against Unisons and stuff like that. So I probably would keep him, but wasn't the powerhouse I thought it would be. Had to run 4 Wolfang Fists. Love this card. This card partnered with Yamcha, wipes boards. It's amazing. Would always run 4 of them. Stupid good. Help from another friend. I wasn't really enjoying 3 or 4 Violent Rays, and he did recommend to chuck it down to 2. I felt for the most part 2 was easily enough, but 3 just felt more comfortable. I don't know. But yeah, didn't mind Violent Rays at all. And then I play the Freeku over the Gohanks. This card is so good. It's a Salt Maker. Unfortunately, I played against a lot of blue and yellow, meaning I really wasn't comfortable paying 5 to slap it down because I knew I was going to get rid of it, and probably would have preferred the Gohanks, but every time I play this card, he wins me a game. He beat the Jiren player for me, he beat the King Piccolo player for me, he beat one of the Icarus players for me. He's just a ridiculous card, and he's amazing, and I love him. So, what I was missing, I would have loved a Champa. I would have loved the Gohans from the Vegeta starter deck, that when you have 2 cards in your combo area, you get to play for free. I would have loved that card, but I didn't have access to the starter deck, so I didn't have them in there. I did have Broly Crown of Retribution in my deck. Again, help from a friend. He was helping me cut the deck down and recommended I probably didn't need it. Look, I didn't. I played 2 Kid Icaruses on the weekend. One I beat. One I went second against Mr. Benny, who won the tournament. And I think Zamasu counterplayed my Unison 3 turns in a row. And no amount of Crown Retribution was going to stop that. Like, just going second against that card means I lose. But it was still a fun match. It was still really good. So I'll probably leave that out. I love it the way it is. I think that's it. I definitely needed a fourth freezer. Cut the King Piccolo down to 1. Chuck in 3 of the Gohans. Chuck in a Champa. Amazing. Round 1, played against Kid Icarus, 1. Round 2, played against Jiren, 1. Round 3, played against King Piccolo, 1. Round 4, played against Gogeta Zeno, 1. Round 5, played against Benny's Kid Icarus, got counterplayed for days, lost. Then played against Haynes, Ramp, Vegeta. That's the issue with the King Vegeta's imposing presence. And the last round, I played against friend Aaron Chamberlain. What did he play? Zamasu. And won. So managed to finish 9th with the deck. Considering I thought it was going to be quite a bit of a meme and just have a bit of fun, the fact that he was so versatile and was able to play a bunch of different colors and keep up there with himself, I was very happy. I think it's a fantastic deck. I love it to death. I would highly recommend playing it. And I think if you definitely like having a bit of longer matches and really having to think about when to combo, when to defend, when to negate, and love that kind of end game where you're both sitting at 1, 2, or 3 life and you're really trying to push yourself through, this is the deck for it. If you have any questions, leave them in the YouTube. Tell me if you think the deck's shit. Tell me if you think it's good. I'll answer anything you can. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting, guys. If you want to help support further, jump in the link in the description below to palmsoffgaming.com.au. Look for your grading needs, for your folders, for your binders, and put the code Cybermen in the checkout. It helps me out. It helps you out. You'll get 10% off. Really, really awesome. Thanks for watching again, guys, and enjoy.